All right, bang, bang. Stacks of the week. We're going to go over our top three. We got Dustin and Price on the line as well. So, one thing you want to know, Stacks is the most important video of the week. Why? Because you've got to correlate your quarterback, your receiver, and typically you'll be running it back. People have won $1 million actually double stacking. What that means is they have been running like a Dak Prescott with RIP Dak for this year with an Amari Cooper and then either like a CeeDee Lamb or Gallup and then running it back with somebody on the opposing team. So other things that you're looking at when you're looking at a stack, you want to typically have a high point total. You also want to have a point spread that's less than 5 points is what we typically look at. Now, this week is completely different. There is not a lot of high totals. Like there is a great Thursday night game from the Seahawks and Cardinals at 57 points or so. But we have, I think, one game above 50, which we're going to go over. So there's not a lot of high point spreads, which makes this week actually very interesting and very fun for people like us who break down all the stats and the metrics because there's not one go-to game. Like earlier in the year, the Cowboys and Seahawks game was just a gimme, right? You needed to be in on that game to make some money. So this week is going to be completely different because it's wide open. There's a lot of teams spreads in the 45 to 49 range. So we're going to break that down. But we're going to go with Price first and foremost with his game, the Bungles and the Redskins. Didn't think that would be a stack of the week when we first looked, but upon further review, Price has got some nuggets for us. But before Price, hold on. Go to dfsdaz.com/join. Use code RC or use actually the Masters code, as I still have it active because I'm a little lazy, haven't taken it down yet. It's a better discount for you. You'll be able to join our Slack. We'll personally go over your lineups every week if you want. Become part of the family. Price, break down the Bungles and the Redskins here for us, and take a deep dive down the stack lane.
All right. So we kind of talked about it last night whenever we were doing our weekly breakdown. And I mentioned how I really love Burrow, love Boyd, and I just didn't know about this game. And Dustin brought up the vaunted Washington defense is only so vaunted because of the offensive they faced. So after further breaking it down, they really only faced one explosive offense, and that was the Lions, and they didn't even have Kenny Golladay. So now we get Burrow, who I think he averages, like almost 40 throws a game. A little over. Yeah, I mean, he had one with 60 throws, which kind of skews it, but he's right around 40 throws a game. He's had only 2 games where he didn't hit value. One was when they got just walloped by Baltimore. He has 3 rushing touchdowns, a couple games over 35 yards rushing, so a lot of upside with him. I love Tyler Boyd. He has a great matchup this week. He operates pretty much exclusively in the slot. And if you look at his actual matchup against Jimmy Moreland, he's plus 21% against that guy. So one-on-one, you need him to be the man beater. He's going to beat him. On the flip side, we've talked about for weeks and really all season how good McLaurin's been. McLaurin has been fantastic. He just every single week, he's like 9 targets, 6 catches, 100 yards, and then he scores a touchdown every other week. We were on Logan Thomas to start the year, and he was he got all the targets. He just wasn't actually putting it together. And in the last 4 weeks, he's actually put the games together. He's averaging like 12 points a game. And then on the flip side, Alex Smith is the quarterback. So he's not the same Alex Smith when he tore it up for the Niners back in the day, but he's still a competent quarterback. I mean, last week he threw for almost 400 yards. He threw for over 300 the week before. So his 2 starts, he's actually done very well. Now there's a lot of checkdowns, which would take you to McKissick. I mean, McKissick's on pace for 15 targets a game at this point. It's just monstrous. So I think you can go both ways. My favorite is going to be Burrow with Boyd. And then It's going to be tough because T. Higgins is, I think, 6 straight games over 60 yards. He's the only person in the league who's done it. But he's, I think he's 6,000.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's 5,900.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ Green dropped down to 3,600. And he has a decent matchup too. So if you want to double stack it for a GPP, I wouldn't mind going Burrow, Boyd, AJ Green, and then running it back with either McLaurin, or I'll probably use Logan Thomas just because he's a cheaper tight end and I don't really like any expensive tight ends.
I dig it.
What game are you looking at, Chris?
All right. So we're going to break down the second game here. We got Atlanta and New Orleans. Now, this is the highest total game at 52 points. The spread is -4 for the Saints. So it fits both of our criteria. We typically want to have a game over 50 points and something under 5-point spread. And that's what this matchup has until. You also have a quarterback a little bit cheaper than normal because you have Jameis Winston from Florida State University, who led the league in passing last year, passing yards, if I got my stats right. He also led the league in interceptions with 30, but he had 30 touchdowns as well, 30. So he likes to pass the ball deep down the field. And when you take a deep dive in this, he's in a smash matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons, who give up 28 points per game. So you have to pair him with a receiver like Michael Thomas, who started coming back from his injury in week 9, and he's starting to take over the snap share, where last week he had 80% on the team routes versus the 49ers. So he's starting to get healthier. Jameis Winston likes to throw the ball deep. He likes to throw the ball up, and that's where I like this combination. And Thomas is a top flight receiver at only 7,300, where you have a Devontae Adams at 8,600. Last week he was 9K. 7,300 is a great price on DraftKings. If you wander into FanDuel, he's 8,200 over there. So with the Falcons giving up just insane points, being horrible against the pass, giving up, they are allowing the third most fantasy points per game to opposing wideouts. So all the stats lead to a Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas over 50-point spread, within a 4 points, over 50-point team totals, 4-point spread is great. Now, who do you want to run it back with is the big key. So you could go, if you need to go cheaper, the tight end Hurst is really good. But I personally want to run it back with Julio. Now, Julio has a history with the Saints of playing really well. Marshawn Lattimore is having a forgetful season. Really, the last 2 years, he's not been doing great. So I'm not worried about that. He has a plus 50%, which is number 1 this week, matchup advantage versus Lattimore. Calvin Ridley is going to be playing this week. It looks like as the week is going on, you have to see that. Now, if Calvin is out, it's 100% lock. You're going to run it back with Julio. You could also, if you want to be probably contrarian, you could run Matt Ryan and Julio and then run it back with Michael Thomas. Another reason why I like Michael Thomas is because of Alvin Kamara. It looks like he's hurting. He's hurt. So if he doesn't play, Michael Thomas is 100% a lock in my lineups and within the stack for sure. So that's who I like. That's who I'm going with. Lock it in. Make some money. Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, run it back with the Julio Jones. If you need to save a little cash, go to the tight end with Hurst. That's who I got. Dustin, let us know. What is the third stack of the week here that we like?
Yeah, so the game I'm looking at is the Texans versus the Patriots. Now, over under 49. So you're thinking, oh, it's under 50, but when you think about it, your spread that you just mentioned was 52, so nobody's taking the kicker, right? So have those 3 points. So I like this game because I think it'll be a little less owned overall. The Texans had a down week. The wind was pretty crazy there against the Browns, and so they've been performing all year. They'll bounce back. I like Deshaun in this one as far as the quarterback, but you can definitely go with Cam Newton because of obviously the running ability and the stealing of touchdowns. And he's also, been throwing the ball decent as of late, as opposed to a little bit earlier in the season. So what I like for this one is Deshaun, and then Fuller or Cooks are the obvious choices here. My preference is Fuller, has a little better matchup, but they both get Cooks actually has gotten more targets since Bill O'Brien got fired. Cooks had a zero point effort, and then ever since then he's been really good, with the exception of last week when the whole team was bad. So I think you can't go wrong there. Maybe a double stack type of deal with the Texans. They're both very explosive receivers, so they can hit pay dirt very quickly. On the other side, so you kind of have two options here, right? Because the Texans are equally bad almost in the runs and the pass game. So you have Damian Harris, who ran the ball 22 times, I think, last week, in a good matchup against the Texans. But my preferred play is going to be the receiver that's emerging there in Jacoby Myers. Since he's come on the scene, he's the second highest target per route run in the league. He was the only receiver to get a pass last week from Cam Newton. It was him and the running back. So another cool nugget here is he plays 45% in the slot, and he's played 45% on the right side, and then the other on the left. So they move him all over. They get him the ball. He obviously is the favorite target of Cam Newton. So you have a decent floor there. He's pretty cheap. Let me see what he is here.
4,900.
4,900, and I think he has a pretty safe floor for a 4,900 type of guy. And so you have a game where 28-21. Maybe he's getting 8 catches and a touchdown. So that's my stack. I really, really think it's going to do well. And I think it can easily go over. The Patriots defense isn't nearly as good as it's been in the past. It's just a matter of, can Cam Newton, lead them down the field quickly enough to keep up with the Texans? Because I think the Texans are gonna score fairly easily. And then you also got Duke. I forgot Duke Johnson.
There we go. I was about to say there. In the double stack world that we talk about, do you think you can do a quarterback, receiver, and then double stack it with the running back?
I mean, I think you can go like a Will Fuller, Duke Johnson, or Cooks, Duke Johnson. I wouldn't, go too crazy with 3 players. But the thing that last week popped off, because we were on Duke last week and he only had 1 target. So I think they're going to really make that more important this week, to get him the ball, get him some of those quick passes, extension of the run. So he played 98% of the snaps. So he's in there the whole time. He's going to get the rock. So yeah, I think it's very viable to put Duke in there because of his pass game. So
just to recap, what is your official go-to line for your stack here?
Deshaun, Fuller, Duke, and run it back with Jacoby.
Bang, bang. Those are our 3 stacks of the week. Must plays. Let's go make some money, and we will see y'all. Be sure to go to dfsdads.com. Check us out. Let's go make some money. Peace.